Useful websites and toolbars. These are going to be important for any type of work that you're going to be doing with SEO because these are going to come in handy whether you're doing on-page stuff or off-page stuff. So it's important to kind of keep these in the back of your mind. I'll be discussing some of these as we go along. I'll also be referring to other ones too that might pop up here and there, but these are kind of the primary useful ones that I wanted to kind of point out to you guys now. The first one that I wanted to discuss is this Moz toolbar. The Moz toolbar is going to be pretty important because the Moz toolbar gives you some great metrics about what's going on the page. It also helps to give you some link analysis when you're searching for stuff. Now, to find it, just Google Moz toolbar and install it as a Chrome extension or on the Firefox, whatever you're using to search with. And it's going to give you kind of this extra information. You'll see me using this Moz toolbar from time to time through these videos. This is going to be really important, so I would recommend that. Another one is going to be Alexa.com. We'll use Alexa to help us kind of gauge our SEO work as we go along. Basically, Alexa will help us to see kind of where our page is ranked. As we see, Amazon here is ranked 4 in the United States, 6 globally. So keep Alexa.com in mind. We also want to use the Wayback Machine. The Wayback Machine is an archive of the internet. It basically shows you how any website looked throughout its history. This is going to be useful when we talk about stuff like buying domains at auction. And it's a strategy you may or may not want to implement, but I'll discuss the pitfalls and shortcomings of it, and also some of the potential benefits of it as well. So the Wayback Machine is great. It will give you kind of a historical context of what a website's been up to. Let's check out Amazon. We can see when it was first indexed by Google was in 1998. If I click on any of these, it's basically going to show me what the website looked like. If we want to go back to, say, 1999, we can take a look at, hey, what did Amazon look like in 1999? We can click on, any of these blue highlighted things. Sometimes it's their system isn't always working well. Let's see here. Let's take a look at 2005. Let's try this again. So currently their system isn't working properly right now, but normally when you do click on one of these, it's going to show you what their website looked like at this particular time or whatever when you clicked on it. But for some reason right now it doesn't seem to be working properly. So here's one that shows up. Okay, so this is showing us what Amazon looked like at that time. Generally, you do get this will work. You'll get a page like this. So just check it out, and I'll show you why this is useful later. Next one I want to discuss is Empire Avenue. Empire Avenue is really good, especially when you're working on SEO, because you're kind of teaming up with other like-minded SEOs or SEMs, search engine marketers, SEOs and SEMs that are trying to promote their sites, and you can engage in missions together. You can get people to like you can get real people to like and share your stuff. This is pretty useful, and I would definitely recommend using this no matter if you're a beginner or intermediary. Now, TriPro is something a bit more advanced. Now I'll have links to all of these in the resources later on, but TriPro is definitely something a bit more advanced. Now this is where you can have up to 5,000 people that are sharing your content every time you release it out. Now there are some kind of pitfalls to this as well, and there are potential benefits, of course. Some of the people that are sharing stuff are kind of spammy. So you don't necessarily want to be sharing other people's spammy stuff in your social media channels. So like I said, it is good, and it does have its bad sides, but it's something that I kind of like. So I think it's definitely something that you should check out. And as we can see on Moz here, we can see its domain authority and the page authority. We can see how many Facebook shares and tweets and Google Pluses ones that it's had. GoDaddy auctions, this is something else that I want you to keep in mind. You can find it at auctions.godaddy.com. So basically, this is a great site for for buying domain names that have expired that might have some authority. What you'll hear me talking about a lot later is the trust in age and how difficult it is to achieve trust in age. Now, we could buy a domain at auction that already has some trust in age. There are pitfalls to that again. So you just want to kind of make you aware of this strategy so that moving forward. Whether or not you decide to use it is entirely up to you. Of course, we want to use the Google's Webmaster Tools. This is going to be an important one, so make sure that you're using Webmaster Tools for whatever website that you're developing, and of course, Google Analytics. Those are two very important things to ensure that you're utilizing is the Webmaster Tools and Google Analytics. Analytics, of course, will give us a lot of great information about what's going on the site. Now, I know that there's a lot of this referral spam that's happening now. I'll try to give you some best practices when it comes to that kind of stuff. HT access isn't really the greatest route to dealing with that. Because it seems some of them are hitting the site and some of them are not hitting the site. Some of them are just using your Google Analytics code to hit the hit Google's server, and so that it logs a visit, but they never actually visit you. So we'll discuss this a little bit later, but ensure that you have signed up for Google Analytics and the Webmaster Tools, and we'll be using those to a lot. So these are important tools and resources to keep in mind. When we get to the WordPress stuff, I'll talk about plugins and other things that we'll want to be using later on. For example, like WordFence is pretty good if you want to deal with WordPress security. Then things like Yoast SEO plugin. So there's a bunch of different things that we'll discuss later. But for now, these are kind of the important tools and resources to keep in mind.